You don't hear the music? I don't hear the music. Good evening. Good evening. Let us convene the meeting this evening. This is the opening ascertainment hearing for a cable television franchise renewal contract between the City of Lowell and Comcast. And two of the representatives from Comcast are here, Tim Kelly and Karen Matheson. And we're doing so under the auspices of our city manager, Bernard Lynch, who is unable to be with us this evening because of another commitment. But during this ascertainment period, the purpose of it really is to determine the future cable-related needs of the city, among other things, and also to examine whether the cable operator has substantially complied with the material terms of the existing franchise and with the quality of the operator's service, including signal quality, response to consumer complaints and bills, but without regard to the mix of the quality of cable services and other services provided over the system in light of the community needs, and also to determine whether the cable operator has the financial, legal, and technical ability to provide the services, facilities, and equipment. But if any of you have read the papers lately, you can see where Comcast acquired NBC Universal and is also acquiring the GE building in New York. So I guess they have some money, so we don't have to worry about that. But the purpose, as I said, is to gather really information and feedback from the public. And then we will in turn digest that and try to incorporate some of the information that's gleaned from the ensuing contract, which, well, the present contract that we are operating under, which began in October of '08, expires this coming October, October the 10th, 2013. On my right, of course, is our Chief Information Officer from the City of Lowell, Moran Fernandez. But it's a pleasure, to be here with all of you this evening. And as you know, Lowell is really one of the largest, I should say, communities in that we have in excess of 30,000 subscribers as of the end of the year 2011. So Comcast is concerned about Lowell. It's a big customer, if you want to say that. And at the same time, they're making money. They take in, I'm sure, a net over $1,700,000 every month. So they're not losing out by doing business in Lowell. Some people, of course, have inquired, well, what about Verizon Fios, and why don't we have Verizon Fios? Well, to be perfectly honest with you, they're not interested in coming to Lowell. And they're not interested because of the cost of build-out, and also there are some technical problems, as I understand it, with their downtown apparatus that operates on Appleton Street, and the cost of that to enable Verizon to come in. But they have scaled back, not only here, but from the information that we have received across the country. I think that, they keep putting ads on about switch over to Fios, but we can't switch over. The citizens and the subscribers here cannot, because we do not have the capacity to switch over if we wanted to. Some of the other concerns, I think, are probably amongst the public, including you folks that we're appreciative of your coming this evening, has to do with the high definition and the changeover that's occurring each and every day, and that more and more of the cable is becoming high definition. And, what does that mean for the subscribers? But to just be technical a little bit here with you, and for the record itself, I will read in the legal notice that was published in the Lowell Sun on Monday, February 25th, and published again on March 4th, 2003, which called attention to the fact that there was this public hearing tonight, and there's a second public hearing scheduled at 6:30 p.m. on April the 10th, which is another Wednesday evening. But the legal ad that was published reads as follows. Notice of ascertainment and public hearing by the issuing authority for cable television for the city of Lowell, Massachusetts. The issuing authority for the cable television for the city of Lowell is by Bernard F. Lynch, the city manager, who is also the issuing authority for the cable license. And as part of the ascertainment of the community's cable-related needs and the interest for cable television, that public hearings will be held on Wednesday, March the 13th at 6:30 p.m., and again on Wednesday, April the 10th, 2013, at 6:30 p.m. here in the City Council Chamber at 375 Merrimack Street in City Hall. These hearings will be an opportunity for users of Comcast cable television services to voice their opinions or their concerns regarding these services under the current license, which expires October 10th, 2013. During the ascertainment and at the above public hearings, the issuing authority will, among other things, review the performance and satisfaction of Comcast as it relates to access to cable services and customer services, to discuss the importance of PEG, which is public, educational, and governmental access channels, and the services related thereto, and to identify future cable-related needs of the community. All subscribers and interested parties are invited to attend the hearings and to submit written or email communications to Moran Fernandez, the MIS, or Chief Information Officer for the City of Lowell, whose address is, there's an email address here of mfernandez@lowellma.gov, and that the telephone number for Moran is 978-674-4099. The hearings will usually last between 30 and 60 minutes, depending on community participation. Signed, Bernard F. Lynch, City Manager and Issuing Authority. With that, and not to take up the public's time with my presentation, I'll ask Moran if he has something to add to what was said.
Thank you, David. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank Comcast and all the community members for being here tonight. My name is Miran Fernandez, as David mentioned. I'm the city's Chief Information Officer in the MIS department. I'm responsible for ensuring that the city is making the best use of its existing technology and implementing new technologies that allow the city to deliver effective and efficient government services. And though I'm a member of the city administration, my team and I work closely with the school department in a consultative capacity. While there will undoubtedly be topics covered during these ascertainment hearings with various recurring themes, I think it's important that we establish a framework for these hearings. As Attorney Fenton pointed out, the ascertainment hearings are intended to review Comcast's performance during the cable franchise license period, which will be expiring this fall, and to identify future cable-related needs for the community. With this in mind, there are several topics that often come up, but which really are not intended to be the focus of this meeting. David already mentioned a couple. I'll mention them again. One of them is the channel lineup, as in we need another shopping channel or we need the golf channel. Those just aren't typically discussed during the ascertainment, which is focused on Comcast performance. Another is the channel placement, as in let's move the municipal channel back to channel 10. That is typically outside the scope of the ascertainment hearing. Another is competition, as in why we can't get another cable company option like Verizon Fios in here. As David mentioned, there are technical reasons why Verizon hasn't come to Lowell. Many people don't realize Lowell was the birthplace of the telephone number for digit dialing, and as that kind of suggests, the infrastructure is very old. Verizon has chosen intentionally not to upgrade that infrastructure here in the city. As a result, the delivery of services such as Fios just aren't an option. There's also been significant news industry postings in the past several years that Verizon has claimed and made a lot of comments about how they are just not expanding Fios any further within the United States. The last item is rates, as in, why do I pay so much for cable television? That's just something outside of the ascertainment for their performance. While all of these are certainly important and very relevant topics, they're somewhat outside the bounds of reviewing Comcast performance and identifying the future cable-related needs of the community. Before inviting the public to speak, I'd like to point out that we have received numerous letters from various parties regarding cable-related needs and interests. To date, we've received 25 plus. We expect to be receiving more in the future, and they will all be entered into the record to be part of the ascertainment hearing. We'd like to thank everyone who's taken the time to write us, encourage those who are unable to attend to continue writing us, and all the other community members that anyone here can reach out to that do have any needs for the community to please contact us. With that said, I'd like to suggest that we open the Comcast cable franchise ascertainment phase in public hearing. We'd like to invite anyone who'd like to participate to please approach the podium, state their name and address, provide their input, and when you're done, please make sure that you record your name and address on the attendance sheet that's at the podium. And we'd just like to ask everyone to have an opportunity to speak.
Just a note, and that is there was a sign-in sheet, and I saw that many of you, most of you were signing up, so I'd just like to know who's speaking, so again, we can keep that as part of our record. And first up to the bat is Jessica.
Thank you very much, David. I wanted to say hello, thank you, Mr. Fenton, Mr. Fernandez, and Ms. Matheson, and Mr. Kelly for holding these public hearings tonight. You've been great working with me in my first year as Executive Director at LTC, and I really appreciate all the information that you've given and help that you've given to us as an organization. So for the record, my name is Jessica Wilson. I'm the Executive Director of LTC, Lowell Telecommunications Corporation. We work with Comcast in the City of Lowell to provide public and government cable access services to our residents, students, and businesses for nearly 20 years now. I've been with LTC for just a little over a year, and I can truly say that I love my job. I think that as the Community Media Center, we provide one of the key services for the 21st century. We help people learn how to use constantly changing technology that they need to communicate so that we can keep a true record of the life that occurs in our city today and for generations to come. We're the only place where the news and information is available to everyone in Lowell in their language from the mouths of people they know and trust, and it's tailored to the place in which we live. There's a tremendous sense of pride that the citizens of Lowell have for their community. We love the diversity, the events, the many organizations, the food, the passion that people have for politics, and the unique celebrations. But most of all, we love the people here in Lowell. And LTC is a place where the people can actually share their voices, their personalities, and their stories in ways that make a real difference in people's lives. We work with hundreds of local citizens who are interested in getting copies of our daily meeting coverage here at City Hall and the Chamber, and we're grateful that they can use LTC to keep up with local politics. We're happy to host Lowell's only live daily TV show about politics on Channel 8. 3 nights a week, our Khmer-speaking producers air live call-in shows on Channel 95, disseminating information about local politics, events, and people via their broadcasts. This is a really important way of communicating information among the Khmer language population in Lowell. And we have worked with dozens of local businesses and nonprofits to help them produce informational programs about everything from art to help for the homeless, violence prevention to budgeting for low-income women, community gardens to navigating the healthcare system, Buddhist chanting to Christian worship. We have a unique way of bringing together Lowell's diverse groups and creating a meeting grounds where every voice is equal. We're proud of the diversity, the quantity, and yes, the quality of our broadcasts. Last year, we aired over 11,000 new programs across our 3 channels. We currently have over 650 active members of LTC who take part in the production of a show at some point during the year. We're fortunate to be able to have some of the capital funds that were allocated to LTC over the past 10 years to open a new and improved media center in 2010. This center has 2 TV studios, a classroom, a large gathering space for events, screenings, and meetings. In 2012, nearly 7,000 people came through our doors to learn, work, or celebrate at LTC. Our new space is a great asset to the community, but it cost LTC a great deal, and the cash reserves that we have worked hard to build are now depleted. We're looking to Comcast and to the city to help ensure that we have the equipment and the funding to go into the future, ready to produce and broadcast our important content in a quality that is up to current industry standards, digital and hopefully eventually HD. We're very grateful for the confidence the city administration has in our work and in our ability to document the important happenings of our local government. We're duly grateful for the dozens of partners, members, volunteers, and producers who make it possible for LTC to produce such great local content, and several of them are here tonight. On behalf of LTC's 29-member board of directors, staff, and our 650-plus members, I respectfully ask for the following contract provisions so that LTC may continue to provide quality service to Lowell. We are looking for continued level or raised funding for LTC's operations, funds or equipment so that LTC may upgrade our playback system to deliver content on an encoded IP stream. And while we cannot plan out exactly what type of equipment we would like to use, we know that this equipment tends to run between $10,000 and $100,000, so there's a big ballpark there. We'd like continued level or increased capital funding for equipment upgrade. With heavy use over the years, most of our studio and editing equipment is fully depreciated and needs to be replaced. We are also looking for a program listing in the digital video guide, video on-demand hours for LTC use, broadcasting on an HD mirrored channel as we plan to upgrade our equipment to HD over a 5-year period, an annual bill insert in Comcast billing for people in Lowell, and free promotional spots on other channels. We believe that people do want to watch the content on LTC, and we think that these provisions would make it easier for people to find the content that they would like and watch it on a schedule that works for them, as they do with the content on any other channel available to them. We appreciate being included in this process, and we're grateful that some of our partners are here tonight to share their experience with LTC or have provided letters stating their comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. I just wanted to say that LTC, of course, has been in existence, I guess, since 1992 and 1993, and I had the pleasure of forming the corporation back then when you started. But I just thank you again and I'd like to have a hard copy, if I could, of your presentation tonight. Contrary to what I said at the opening of the meeting, the city manager was able to make it this evening, and we're pleased to see him as well as Councilor Leahy in the audience this evening. So without further ado, thank you for your presentation, and we'll move on to the next speaker if we could.
Good evening. I'm Mary Jo Griffin. Hello, Attorney Fenton.
Yes, hello.
And Mr. Fernandez, how are you? I'm here also in support of LTC on behalf of Middlesex Community College. I'm not sure you're aware, but we partnered with Middlesex Community College over a year ago. We're in our 2nd season, where we have chosen to use LTC as a means, twofold, as a way to bring videography and TV to our students, allowing them to participate in programming and producing and filming, as well as a marketing tool and an outreach tool for the college. Our program is now, we do a monthly program. It's in its 2nd year, but we also we distribute our program to 9 other towns with the LTC logos and the fact that the program is made and produced at LTC. So I'm here to also support most of everything that Jessica had to say, in that she is right that some of their capital equipment is heavily used, because we are one of the heavy users at Middlesex Community College, because as you know, it allows our membership, our corporate membership allows students and faculty and staff to go in and utilize all of the offerings at LTC, from the classes that they teach to using the equipment in the studios. So just even over the last 2 years, you can see that you have to wait, you have to sign up for the use of the studio, use of the cameras, and it's good to know, just for your sake, that it is being used. The city and the residents are using it. What I would like to strongly reiterate from Jessica's remarks is it would be wonderful to have the listing of the programs. It's especially where our community is a vast community at Middlesex Community College. So to have it on our local cable listings would be very helpful, as well as an on-demand or a video streaming option. Again, because most people work and they can't just watch the TV programs when they air specifically. Digital and HD is no longer, I don't believe, is any more an elite or an exception. It's becoming the rule. So to upgrade it that way, that's just about it. That I just want to make sure that you heard from Middlesex Community College that we have a strong corporate partner of LTC, and we are in full support of all of their needs. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mary Jo. Mary Jo and her family used to be neighbors of mine many years ago. And the last time I saw you, you were the head of the ABCC, and I appeared before you.
A long time ago.
Yeah. Mr. Page.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of Comcast. My name is Robert Page. I live at 26 Fremont Street here in Lowell, and I'll tell you up front, I have absolutely zero technical ability. So I'm going to speak to you tonight in support of LTC. I can tell you what I see and how important they are to our community. They telecast on 3 channels here in Lowell, on channels 99, 95, and 8. They cover every topic from A to Z and some in between, I think. They're they're a jewel here for the city of Lowell. What I witness when I go there is I see volunteers of all ages learning some answering the telephone, greeting the visitors. Others are up in the studios learning how to run the cameras, the soundboard, doing the technical aspects of the job. And others are there learning how to be directors and producers. All of these are offered to our citizens here in this community at no cost to them. They also bring in interns from schools of higher learning that have to have a hands-on experience, and they come here to LTC. Personally, I'm host to a show here in the city, and I've been host for the past 5 years. It's produced by Mark Ducey and Steve Brogan, and it's called A Veteran Story. I introduce veterans from all over our community. They get to tell their story, where they've been, what they've done, what they've seen. I'm sure we're all aware that we have heroes that walk among us, but we call them different names. We call them grandmother and grandfather, mom and dad, sister, brother, neighbor, friend. But they're out there among us, and this show gives them the opportunity to create a historical document. Many of these shows are down in our National Library in Washington, D.C. I'm also very proud to say that I am the Public Relations Officer for the Greater Lowell Veterans Council, and LTC covers the 3 major ceremonies that we conduct each year, namely Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and Pearl Harbor Day. We veterans believe that these 3 dates are very important. They're certainly important to us, and we know they're important to all the citizens here in Lowell. And I would ask Comcast, please continue your support of LTC. They're doing a great job. I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Page. I've watched your program, and you do a great job.
If I can just quickly mention, I know that there were 3 channels just mentioned, 99, 95, and 8, but I think it's worth pointing out we do have 4 channels here in the city of Lowell, with channel 22 being the educational channel, which does get a very strong use over in the schools, and there's going to be a lot more discussion about that in the April hearing, is my understanding, as there will be students coming to speak about that as well.
Hello, my name is Anne Marie Page. I live at 26 Fremont Street. I am Lowell born, Lowell bred, and someday I shall be Lowell dead. Welcome, Comcast. I have been a customer of Comcast since the first day you showed up in town. And I still don't know all the things that remote control does, and I don't want to know them all. As long as the on and off works, I'm good. Comcast is here. This is the 4th largest city in the state of Massachusetts. So if you're doing business here, you have a big bag of money. So we want you, your good faith, and your big bag of money to continue to support this community that is such a good customer of yours. LTC is our community. LTC is good for our community, and therefore we want you to consider and continue to support them. They bring out to us information for citizens throughout the community. Many people that can't get out to see different events, they film them. They film all our municipal boards, city council, anything going on, they're there. We call Mark Ducey and Steve Brogan the dynamic duo. They do the work of 6 men, at least 6 men. I don't know how they do it. I don't want to know how they do it. I just don't want them to stop doing it. But everything for this city goes through that LTC. It's like the #1 information stop. They cover everything from education to the most complex council meeting you could attend. They've got it. They've documented it all. So we want you to please support LTC the way you have in the past, and if possible, to even be more generous, because heavens knows they are pinching that nickel till that buffalo jumps off. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Page. You do great work for the city on behalf of the residents of Centerville, I know. So, the next speaker is coming to the microphone.
Hi, my name is Sidney Liang. I live in Lowell. I am also a Comcast customer, triple pack. I live on 23 Phillip Street, and I am a resident in Lowell since 1987. I also work locally here at Lowell Community Health Center since 1998. Through Lowell Community Health Center, I produce a TV show called Chivit Thmai. Now, I got involved with LTC since 1995. The Chivit Thmai show, which means new life, for Cambodian or Khmer language, air weekly program on Monday and Fridays. And since 1999, this TV program produced over 376 episodes and many thousands of topics. Focuses on a range of health care related issues, community news, news from Lowell public schools, and news from Cambodia. We do this by collaborating with hosts from our own health centers, and as well as professionals from the community, which we broadcast both in English and Khmer. Due to our own struggles, unfortunate and horrific history, many Cambodians could not read or write in English or Khmer. LTC offers services and opportunity for community members such as myself to serve our own people, and especially in our own language. Chivit Thmai TV program reaches all age groups throughout Lowell. According to the 2010 survey that we did at the health center, 68% of adults Cambodian 25 and older receive their information from cablecast, and 81% of them watch cablecast TV show. Now, I support Jessica's message and request for the improvement of many materials and equipment that she said. On top of that, I can mention and attest to the professionalism and assistance her staff has provided throughout the year, and not only to the members, but all to the non-member of the community who come through LTC and its door. The reason that I'm also very much in support of the equipment is that at times, like at 9 o'clock, when some of the equipment did not work, I had to call in LTC, to just flip a switch or reboot a certain episode. So I am also encourage Comcast and everyone that involved to support her request. LTC is very important to the minority community in Lowell, such as the Cambodian community. Thanks to LTC, the low Cambodian population got their livelihood through connecting and participation by learning, by watching a lot of events, such as the Lowell Folk Festival, the Winter Fest, South Asian Water Festival, the African Festival, and many, many more that Anne-Marie just mentioned as well, and the other people before me. Most importantly, I like LTC program to be sustained, get additional support from Comcast to be included in many other programs and activities, such as the HD Comcast video on demand and other things that Jessica has mentioned. Thank you.
I have a question, and that is, I think you said that you've put on over 376 shows.
Yes.
And do you have any figures with respect to the number of Asian and/or Cambodian subscribers in the city?
To Comcast,
Yes.
I don't know. I can't tell you, but we also did a little research on how many people watch the show, and I can certainly provide report on that to you as well.
Yeah, that would be fine. We'd like to get that information if we could,
Sure.
because, your show is very important to the Cambodian community, certainly, and to the city. So we appreciate your coming tonight, and good luck.
Thank you.
Continued good luck with your show.
I actually have another question, too. I know that as the second largest Cambodian population in the United States, I know that one of the things that we rely heavily on is the PEG channels for the Cambodian population for a lot of the shows. Now, one of the questions I have is, when you're putting on so many shows, do we have adequate capacity right now on the channels that we have? Between the 3 channels that are available, with 1 reserved for education. So one of the questions that I've often heard come up, and I have yet to hear it come up again tonight, is, do we need another channel? Should we have another channel, whether it's another channel that's reserved to be used for different languages or whatnot? Do you think that that would be helpful or useful?
I think LTC opened many doors to simple community members just like me to offer many variety of program and services. And I do think also that there are a lot of members that would like to have more programmings and different episodes and issues. I mean, for example, the Cambodian community, we have the Buddhist show, we have Christian show, but there's a lot of other programs, especially the new generation who would like to put, such as the youth program, the one that's in between the one from, I know that I've done some of the issues with the Channel 22, but at the same time, there's some community member who got stuck in between the sandwich age that would like to have their own show as well. And I think there's going to be more people that would like to request a different show, not the one that we have. Mine is basically trying to provide assistance to most of the folks that can't read or write. But at the same time, you have a lot of community members that from, let's say, UMass Lowell, MCC, and other places who would like to broadcast and reach out to their own peers. And I do support, additional either channels or requests being made by Jessica and her staff.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
And before you leave, I have one more question, and that's
Sure.
either if you can't provide, perhaps Jessica could at a later date, but I was wondering in terms of other Asians, other than the Cambodians, any interest that you're aware of with respect to them putting on shows
Right.
at the LTC?
Previously, there was one Laotian program that ran a while ago. Now, I don't know to extent, but also I think there's a growing of the Burmese community as well as the Vietnamese community in the city of Lowell. So I think that is also something that we have to sort of like watch out for, maybe prepared for in terms of the new immigrants or new refugees coming through the city of Lowell.
Mhm.
I think
Thank
we
you.
will see a lot more Southeast Asian. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Jeff Forsyth. I'm at 18 Georgia Ave here in Lowell, and I have limited basic television and internet service.
Jeff, could you move the mic up a little bit?
Oh, it's not, okay. Is that better? Yeah, so I'm a Lowell resident. I have limited basic television and internet data service. So the television service now encoded, so we need a DTA box, which is fine. Before the DTA box, though, I was getting HD channels. Now I get standard def channels. I called Comcast. They said there wasn't any solution on the horizon. They weren't going to change the box over that that they could tell me. So basically, I went and got an antenna. So I still pay for it, but I don't use it, only because it costs more to just get the data service. So I'd like to know if Comcast is going to get HD DTAs in the future, so I can get HD broadcasts, because right now, you know, the shows that I used to watch on LTC I don't get because I'm using the antenna, you know, the folk festival and council meetings and whatnot. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Subs. My full name is actually Subhashish Acharya. Most people can't really get that. So people call me Subs. I live bang opposite to LTC. We've been here for a year. Now, I've been associated with Comcast for a long time because the company that I work at, probably manages 90% of Comcast's technology. You know, starting from maybe field service or, you know, any money that goes into Comcast systems or the billing system is managed by our company. So the one thing that I realize about Comcast is it's a company that's extremely ambitious, extremely professional, and raises the bar extremely high. So, you know, congratulations on that. Now, coming to Lowell, we always had the motivation to become filmmakers. My wife studied from NYFA, but we had a kid, so we had no chance of doing that. When I became a member at LTC, I can only tell you two very important aspects of LTC. One is the technology, amazing. I've been at various, you know, cities all over the United States, but when it comes to LTC, amazing infrastructure. The second thing, you know, apart from infrastructure, is the fact they have good people. They're amazing people who are ready to help people out, like us. Now to explain my point, that we actually became video entrepreneurs. We are social filmmakers who have built a couple of movies. We have promoted artists in Lowell. We have built a small film on Lowell. You can check that out on brandlowell.com. And we also have a bigger film in mind. We are developing films with the help of LTC to help the blind people. We are also trying to do other activities to generate employment. I can only tell you that we have, 1 year back, we had these ideas But nothing happened until we went to LTC, met these people helped us, without which, without that help, I don't think we would have even had the ability to go so far. So I would say, LTC has a tremendous brand, so does Comcast. I think this is synergy. And this synergy to me and people like me who are budding, social entrepreneurs, to me that is an opportunity. So I definitely feel that not only the association, but the investment with LTC will just increase the brand that, Comcast has. So thank you.
Thank you. I think we're learning how important LTC is, and I'm sure that the representatives from Comcast are absorbing this as we sit here tonight. And of course, the need for equipment that is not only ancient, I guess, but that so well used that, again, I'm sure they're listening because the capital expenditures and the capital needs hopefully would be addressed by their capital contributions. But thank you. I didn't mean to cut into your time, Mr. Lawler. But
No problem, Attorney Fenton. Moran and guests from Comcast. My name is John Lawler, and I reside in Lowell, Mass. I go back like you, Mr. Fenton, to the George Preston days when the LTC was over here in a closet somewhere in this building.
Yeah, right.
I was the 54th person to join LTC. I had a number of shows on there, 3 or 4 at a time, and I was always amazed at the people that they have there. They're so committed in their profession, and I believe that they really help people. That's what they feel that their job is, and they do that. I've also am a volunteer outreach worker over at the senior center, and I've spoken to a number of people about Comcast and their television and that sort of thing, and most of them are pretty happy with the television. They love, like you said earlier, Maran, Channel 22. It gives them a chance to see their grandchildren on the TV. And of course, if any of the councilors were still here, they could still say that they certainly know that the seniors watch the council meetings and the school committee meetings, and they are very happy that they have that chance, because some of them don't have the opportunity to get out, regardless of the weather. And it's a great thing that this can be brought to them via Comcast and LTC. The seniors themselves want to get a show together down there, and we're just hoping that through Comcast and through the contract that we'll be able to, they'll have some money that they can buy some equipment to help us out, and we look forward to that. So I just wanted to mention those few points, and other than that, I think that's about it. I'd like I hope that Comcast does come through for us, and that the city manager, along with his staff, sees that the need is at LTC, and it pays off for whatever LTC can get. They get their money's worth from Comcast through the city manager. So I appreciate that as well. Thank you very much.
John, I've got a comment. One is, I actually want to say thank you to Comcast. In the current contract that expires in October, one of the items that Comcast extended to us was connecting the senior center into our institutional network so that we will have the opportunity down the road to actually produce content from the senior center. That service offering just came on board recently, so that's actually exciting news, and thank you, Comcast, for that. John, I know we have another speaker here that'll be speaking a little bit about this. One of the things that we did receive among these 20 somewhat odd letters are comments from senior citizens, many of them speaking to the cost. I know pricing is not an issue that we can technically discuss as ascertainment, but many of the senior citizens talking to cost containment issues with rising costs, fixed incomes, and their ability to continue accessing Comcast and the availability of senior discounts and things that can help them contain those costs. I know there's another speaker to discuss that today. I'm curious, when you've been working at the senior center and working with seniors, are those things that you often hear? What kind of comments like that might you hear?
Well, I did make a note of that and in my handwriting. But yes, they have mentioned that you know, they're grateful for what they do get for, you know, what they can afford. They just, you know, in the service, they have no complaints about the service as far, you know, there are very little problems at all. But maybe it seems though some of the foreign language programs are getting more than the English-speaking programs, but I guess that's just the situation overall for the population-wise, is the way the Comcast figures it out. But I'm glad to hear about the hookup, because I was thinking of myself, between the CBDG
Grants.
when they come over for the testimonials and that sort of thing and presentations, along with some of the other activities that they've had there. I think that that will be very helpful to the city as well. And so I agree with that. And the DBD, Department of Development Planning, comes over there for hearings, and by putting those on and getting the people interested. We had, just this past Tuesday, we had a speaker over there that we probably could have used to put on air, and that was from the DPD, talking about the 2025 plan. So it was a lot of interesting questions from the seniors about that, particularly about transportation. But that's not why we're here today. All right, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for giving us all this opportunity to speak in front of you. My name's Eric Sack. I live at 200 Market Street. I've been an LTC member since September of 1997. I was fortunate enough to join the staff of LTC in September of 2007. I started out as the equipment and facilities manager, and after LTC moved in and built up our new facility, was asked to become the director of technologistics, meaning I handle a lot of the design and infrastructure stuff of LTC. In our design process, our schematic design process of the new facility, we made everything upgradable, really easily upgradable. We put the bare bones in place to have a really high quality signal go into the cable set of Lowell as a whole, and made sure of all the technology we had was forward-looking. We bought all HD equipment where we could with the field equipment that was easily swapped out, and went through a rigorous process to make sure we could train our new members on this stuff. In the upcoming, and with this, the recordings and the product we get from the Southeast Asian Water Festival and these really unique events that happen in Lowell, like the African Festival, we're able to bring really unique content to LTC, to Lowell and the world. Public access as a whole brings that local vision. As you mentioned in the beginning of the meeting, media is being consolidated and the ownership of that media is getting into less and less hands. Places like LTC are the only toeholds of democracy in that shrinking world. We perform a valuable service. We don't judge anything coming into our building based on content, just on technical quality that we can show on the air. And there have been instances where there was questionable content, and we took care of that. But we do the best we can with the limited funds we have. We're operating with a very small budget, a pittance of what people are paying for in Lowell, but we are watched an awful lot. And we know we're watched because when the signal goes down or something goes awry, or we're showing the wrong program, we do get phone calls. You can't call HBO and tell them you're showing the wrong episode of True Blood, but we'll hear it if City Life is showing Monday's show instead of Tuesday's show. So what I'm asking for is, I tell people when they come into my office, is this possible? 95% of the time I tell them anything's possible with enough time, money, and willpower. We've got the time, we've got the willpower, but as our systems age, we're gonna need to replace components. We tried to buy this stuff with the longest life cycle, but things are gonna need to upgrade it as we do transition to HD, because it's like saying we're gonna stay in black and white when the rest of the world is color. HD is coming and we're ready for it. We just need the additional funds to roll that out relatively quickly. And I think that's about it. It's a mix between capital funds and operating costs. We do run on a mostly volunteer basis, and our volunteers are great, and we are really able to provide a non-traditional learning environment for people that want to go pro. Like some people have mentioned, this is where they got their start, and their only entry into media. We're helping them get their voices out to the world, and you can only do that in places like LTC. In college, you're paying a bunch of money and you're always working somebody else's standard. In the professional field, you're either working for a boss or working for a client. LTC is the only place, and places like LTC are the only place where you can, you own your own media. So I thank you for your time listening.
Eric, I've got a question. Eric, I do have a question. During the last round of negotiations when we were establishing the current contract, that was at the same time that the FCC was doing its ruling on analog, digital, carriers, et cetera. I know that one of the questions that came up was, how would LTC be prepared with the conversion from analog to digital? And I know there's been a significant investment in the new facility. In terms of where you're at right now, technology-wise, how much of your technology today is still analog-based or analog-centric?
We have a couple DVD players. Studio B is still pretty much an analog signal. We installed a lot of conversion gear, so signals coming down that are analog get converted to digital, and SDI, SDI, and HD SDI workflow, and they have to get bumped back down to analog before they enter the modulators that take them to the head end that Comcast.
Which certainly accommodates for some of the noise signal and some of the issues that we've seen on.
An interesting note, anybody that's watching this live, we did have a breakdown of all three channels about half hour ago. That's why I'm a little shaky, because I'm still waiting for the phone call to tell us we're off again. But yes, as we are producing a really high quality signal within our building. We're producing a high quality signal in the field. We actually have to dumb down really gorgeous footage we're getting in the field from HD to SD to be able to play it on our server, which will go out, but our playback server will handle an HD signal, all three channels.
So
Four channels if you want to give us another one.
So if you had either a fifth channel that was an HD, or you had other HD equipment, then you're currently prepared to actually push that HD signal out to folks.
Right. I mean, the stuff we have to get at this point to upgrade, really rough estimate, and forgive me if I forget anything, our cameras in the main studio, a few hard drives in our playout server that handles the studio, and an additional expansion card maybe for our playback server.
So you're well positioned to handle
it's
HD.
very modular stuff, nothing mainstream. We paid a significant amount for a standard, industry standard Utah Scientific main house switch with plenty of additional inputs in case we want to pull different sources. but all of them are HD capable, and we're using conversion gear currently to up convert, down convert, cross convert.
So you have to dumb down the signal of what's going out to households
Exactly.
today. Okay,
Well, thanks.
thank you.
Good evening. Attorney Fenton, Moran Fernandez, and representatives from Comcast, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it. I'd like to sort of speak on behalf of not only a resident, I live in Lowell, and I've been a resident here all my life, but I'm also a staff member at LTC. I work in the municipal department. And actually, on the last point, I'd just like to throw in that we also shoot everything in HD, and we do have to dumb everything down to standard definition to put it out, because obviously there's no point to putting out HD on an SD signal because it doesn't look very good. So that does affect our broadcast quality. State your name, I'm sorry. Steve Brogan. Yep. I'd like to basically speak on how LTC has afforded not only myself, but many people the opportunities that might have never been afforded them otherwise had LTC not been around. And this carries over to why it's so important that we maintain at least the level of funding, if not even get some additional funding to help expand some programs and to bring some back to where they used to be, because we have had money pulled away, so we've had to make changes in areas in order to maintain some level as to what we were doing. So basically, the way I started at LTC, I became a member, say about 12 years ago, roughly. And at the time I was working in the restaurant business, working nights and weekends, very arduous job. It takes a lot out of you. And I decided that I didn't want to work in the restaurant business anymore. I had to come to that realization. I was 23 years old, and I just couldn't take it anymore. Restaurants are tough. But I still love to cook. I still love to do what I like to do in the kitchen. So I decided that I wanted to do something else, not in a restaurant. Decided to come up with some type of a cooking show, a cooking segment that I could do. Didn't have any way to do it, though. A friend of mine, through conversations, had mentioned that Lowell had a TV studio, and through some research of my own, found out that we did. We had this public access station that is really a hidden gem. Nobody knows about it, unfortunately, or very few people who should know about it do know about it. They have to find out by hearsay, and oftentimes it just goes unnoticed because it doesn't get the publicity that it deserves. So found out about it, went down there, checked it out, met with some staff members and went through the motions, became a member, took some classes, and shortly thereafter, with some help from the staff, began doing a television show, which was great. It was a cooking show. I loved doing it. It was so much fun. Learned a lot of things, and within a few years, I finally was able to get out of the restaurant business. Worked in retail for a little while, and for anybody who's ever worked in retail knows how much of a pain in the butt that can be. It's not very fun. So quickly thereafter, a position opened up at LTC, and because of my having done this cooking show and having built a rapport with the staff members, and they had seen the work and the effort that I'd put in, they suggested that I apply for the job, which I did. I was able to get the job, luckily. I was able to beat some other candidates out, and from there, I started working in the municipal department, which for somebody like me, I'd lived in Lowell all my life. I'd been to City Hall probably 3 times in my whole life before that point. So it was really cool for me because I was able to meet lots of interesting people like yourselves, the rest of the councilors, the manager, and all those, and the mayor and everybody, which was pretty cool at first. And now it's just sort of like, hey guys, how you doing? But it was a new and great experience for me, and it actually it was able to change my whole career path. I mean, I was in restaurants. I still wanted to do something with food. Had I, not been able to do this cooking show, I probably would still be slaving away in a kitchen somewhere, sweating, or in a God forbid, a retail establishment. But it was able to change my life in a way that I honestly, 12 years ago, could never have seen happen. I mean, and I'm not the only person that this has had happen. And we've had people that have worked at LTC or been members that have gone on to major advertising places, that have gone on The Mad Fisherman. I don't know if you've ever heard of that guy, but he now has a big show on one of the major networks, and he started in public access. So public access is a really great stepping stone that if it wasn't there, so many people would never have had that opportunity to do what it is they love, do this passion and expand on this passion, which is really great. So it's to me, it's not just public access, but it helps to give people hope. It gives people purpose, and it also, like I said, it affords people opportunities that they might never have otherwise had the chance to through technology, the technology we have, and the opportunities that they get to produce all sorts of media. So I'd just like to say that please continue to fund us. If you can increase funding, that would be great. It would, every bit helps. Capital is huge for us right now. I mean, we've had to spend basically all the money we had to just do the upgrades that we did, and now, you know, we have things dying that we can't replace because we don't have the capital to replace them, unfortunately. And unfortunately, the things that need to be replaced are the things that keep us on the air. So if we don't have those, we're in trouble. But yes, please, if you can, continue our funding. And just remember that all the people that do get affected by that, by LTC and by the funding that we get. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Steve.
I didn't sign in, but I will now. My name is Charlotte Crockford, Crockford. I live at 227 Fayette Street in the Major Building, which is a senior complex. And I've polled all the people in the building that I talked to. And then some. I've had little meetings, little chit-chats with people. And one of the things the seniors are very, very concerned with is the cost. And if they don't get the senior discount, especially where we're so limited in our income, most of us live on very fixed incomes. And it's very important that they get that. I also wear another hat. I like to volunteer at places. I used to volunteer at least 40 hours a week. When I retired, I got very bored with taking the trips to Vegas and Aruba and things like that. And flipping through the TV channels, I happened to see volunteers needed, and you take classes for free. And that was LTC. And I decided I wanted to build a website, so I went down to LTC more than 10 years ago. I've got quite a few websites up now, thanks to their training. And I still volunteer there 10 years later. And I'm one of the people that Mr. Page talked about. I like to help people. But the thing that's important is I've watched LTC grow with every new technology that comes out. They're willing to share with the members, with the city of Lowell, what they learn and what they do. And I've gone from a PC that kept crashing on me up to, I produce shows. I produced television shows for CTI as a volunteer. I had Community Matters, Finance Matters, Health Matters, and Connie Martin was the spokesperson for CTI. I don't know if you remember seeing any of those shows, but those were pretty good. It was just a matter of getting people over to the studio. I couldn't have done this if I didn't fall upon the greatest gem, the greatest hidden gem in the city of Lowell, which is LTC. And any funding that you people could give them, especially Comcast, to improve, because when you look at me, you know my age is, I'm not no kid. And for me to learn the technology, it was because of the caring passion that LTC has for the city and for its members. They've taught me things. Who would have thought that you could retire and open up a whole new world? And that's what happened at LTC. From the minute I walked in, there must be something there because I'm still there. These are my co-workers that are behind me. And I appreciate everything they've done. They've kept me alive and young. And I look forward to the future, and I hope it includes some funding from Comcast. Thank you very much.
Charlotte, I have a question for you. I've got a question. It has to do with training. In terms of the training courses that you've taken at LTC, how many of them were video-based? And how did they help you with production and producing shows?
Oh my goodness. I started out learning a PC. I mean, so I went from PC to creating little movie clips in iMovie, and then I couldn't even begin to tell you.
So you couldn't have gotten to actually producing shows without a basic overview of fundamental PCs and technology and progressing through different technologies to get to the point where you could actually produce a show. And all of that was all that training was provided through LTC.
Everything I've been producing, or anything I've done in the past 10 years, I learned to do at LTC.
Great. Thank you.
I mean, I didn't even have I had a Brownie camera when I was a kid. That was about it. Now I have my own GL2, which is antique compared to what they have today, but it's very important because I have grandchildren and I have relatives on the other side of the country that can see my work where they couldn't see that before.
I think one of the things that's important to point out is the educational component through LTC, apart from all the other outreach that it does to the community, is the educational component that's really a fundamental, basic piece you need before you can actually start talking about video production. For those folks that need the outreach in order to achieve certain technical competency or certain technical levels that you have to have before you're actually allowed into a production studio, before you're allowed to sit down and start using Final Cut or whatever tools you're using to produce the video or the videography that you're working with. So if I'm hearing you correctly, because I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, everything, I'm serious when I say this. I had to learn how to use computer before I could, I think I was there like 3 years when I was producing a show because of the work everybody does. If you're doing something and somebody comes in and says, "What are you doing?" you show them.
Right.
So it's a way of learning without a teacher almost. And yet the classes are fantastic because they're geared they go in levels. You can keep, I'm sorry about that. You can keep graduating, keep going up until you get where you want to be. And the help is unbelievable. You can ask any person, volunteer or staff that's there, a question and you get an answer. So you're never alone, and that's what's kept me there. I've learned I'm still learning. There's still new stuff coming up every day.
Great.
And I could never say enough about LTC.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there any other speakers tonight? As I look around the room, it appears that everybody has had an opportunity to speak. And I think that what we've all learned tonight, and I'm sure that the representatives of Comcast have, as well as the importance of LTC and the services that it provides, with the assistance, of course, that we receive via Comcast to the Lowell community. And in kind of winding down, I just would say to you and to anyone who may be watching that it's still not too late to submit any written information that you have, any suggestions that you have, any complaints that you have within the limits that Moran outlined in his presentation. There is an opportunity, of course, again, to have an additional hearing, and that's on April the 10th at 6:30 p.m. And so anyone who couldn't make it this evening, or perhaps those who did make it, who would like to come back with other thoughts, that's fine as well. But I want to thank everybody who did come, and unless the Comcast representatives have something they would like to add, then, we do. There is a 5-minute limit.
I was just looking at the clock. I apologize. I know you're holding your breath.
Oh.
CIO Fernandez and Assistant City Solicitor Fenton, thank you for holding the ascertainment proceedings this evening. And thank you to the residents and the supporters of LTC for coming out this evening. They've clearly shown their support for LTC, and we appreciate that. I think an important item I'd like to talk about is the fact that Comcast believes it's not an entitlement, but a privilege to be in the city. And we get that privilege through the license. And we look forward to negotiating a license in good faith with you in the future. Just so the folks out there know, we have not one, not two, three, but 4 lines of business. This evening we're talking about video, but we have Xfinity TV, Xfinity Internet, Xfinity Phone, and a new product, Xfinity Home. So I just want people to realize, I know it's outside the context of the ascertainment, but to know that when we sign a license with the city, that these products will be available for the general public. And we look forward to providing those to them. And quickly, just to touch upon some other products, and I'll stick to the video. Xfinity Home On Demand, we have about 100,000 choices for people to enjoy. I'm sure 5 years ago, that number was probably 1, 2, 3,000. So we're constantly rolling out new and improved services, and those will be services that folks will enjoy. The other is Xfinity Stream Picks, which is a new suite, a video viewing suite that we just rolled out recently. Lastly, a lot of what you're able to watch now at home, you can also watch mobily. You can watch it on your tablet, you can watch it on your mobile phone, through apps and all sorts of other innovative and creative ways of digesting our content. So thank you for the speaking opportunity. We appreciate being here, and we look forward to providing more Xfinity services in the future. Thank you.
Tim, I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
While we're going off topic a little bit, maybe it's worth pointing out, as a partner, some of the things that Comcast does as a partner with the City of Lowell for those residents, viewers, audience members that may not be aware of some of the roles that Comcast does play in the city. Sure,
absolutely. Thank you, Mirani. Appreciate the opportunity. Quickly, just recently we supported the Winterfest. We were a main sponsor of the Winterfest here in Lowell. We continue to sponsor the mayor's holiday event that he hosts here at City Hall. Certainly we're rolling out, we have an enrollment period right now of Internet Essentials. And that's important for those families that might have students in school that are receiving either free or reduced school lunch through the National School Lunch Program. It's a reduced cost internet connection opportunity that they can take advantage of, and I've got plenty of information I can roll out to the city in that regard. One other thing that I think I need to point out in the funding is that we have been supporting the community at 5%, which is the maximum cap per federal law. Obviously, we've heard about capital and capital needs, and that's outside of that 5% of operating support, but can say, to the residents of Lowell that Mr. Fenton and Mr. Fernandez have hit the 5% mark and the maximum level of support for LTC and also other PEG access programming in the city.
I'll just add that I'm a triple user myself of the phone, the internet, the cable in 2 different places, so I'm one of your customers.
We thank you for that.
I'll add that I'm a triple user and that I've experienced something similar to what one of the speakers spoke about today in terms of loss of service and reduction of service based on the number of television sets that are in my home and based on the whole digital conversion when we've gone from having expanded basic cable in the house, which when I built my house and I wired my house personally and made sure I had RG6 coax to every location, all of a sudden there were changes and I lost the ability for several televisions to have any access unless I wanted to pay additional charges on top of what I had. And then on top of that, moving to DTAs, I did lose HD quality on televisions that were obviously HD equipped. And while I'm still a triple play, I consider myself to be extremely crippled in terms of my entertainment situation at home and the availability of channels to those television sets.
I understand where you're coming from, Mr. Fernandez. I can say this, that when we did the conversion over digital, it did free up more bandwidth for increased internet speeds. We have a product now that's 305 megabits down. Stream picks and some of the other items that I mentioned, 100,000 on demand. Without going to digital, we probably wouldn't have the bandwidth to provide those options. So I understand your personal plea with me, but I just want to put it out there to the public that the world of more, our digital enhancement, has allowed us to move even further into the future.
And it probably makes sense, as the partner that the City of Lowell has been with Comcast, to point out, as Mr. Fenton recalls moving back to the Media One days, the whole reason why Comcast has the ability to deliver those services, stream those services, and make those bandwidths available have to do with the City of Lowell's agreement with Comcast to rework the entire cable, the coax fiber connectivity within the city in exchange for the bandwidth and the implementation of the institutional network, which the City of Lowell uses extensively as a wide area network backbone. And certainly the movement to digital services would not have been available without the city originally agreeing to that service, which we do as partners.
Duly noted, and also want to note to the general public that there are about 73 iNet sites, broadband fiber network that the city has in that arrangement that Mr. Fernandez and Mr. Fenton had put together. So the community is certainly benefiting from that arrangement.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
You want to introduce your, excuse me, do you want to introduce your new associate?
Absolutely. Karen Matheson is new to Comcast. She'll be taking over the government affairs role for the City of Lowell. I've been in that role for about 2.5 years now. She's a recent law school grad, just took the bar. I hope you passed. Also a graduate of Wellesley College. She also has experience working in the municipal sector for City Councilor Michael Ross in the City of Boston. And she's just a wonderful addition to the team. She's had the opportunity already to meet with Mr. Fernandez and Mr. Fenton. And we look forward, and I'm sure Karen looks forward to working again, moving forward in a cooperative manner with the City of Lowell.
And just before you leave the microphone, I will just commend you in that I can think of no instance where you have not responded when an inquiry or a complaint was forwarded to you. You always got back, you always responded, and that's very much appreciated.
I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
With that, I guess we will close the hearing for tonight. And again, as I said, April the 10th, same place, same time. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, everyone.